The sound of soft piano keys echoed through the grand hall of the skyscraper at midnight. The building, usually filled with sharp heels, echoing voices, and power suits, was now silent, except for the faint melody coming from the top floor. A lone janitor, his hands rough and weary, sat by the polished grand piano, playing a tune so gentle it could melt even the coldest heart. Beside him sat a little girl with a white blindfold tied over her eyes, her tiny fingers resting uncertainly on the keys as he guided her hands. What they didn't know was that behind the half-open door, a woman in a pristine white suit stood frozen, tears glistening in her eyes, watching the scene that would change her life forever. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of love, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Your support helps spread stories that heal hearts and inspire hope. Ethan was not supposed to be there that night. He was a janitor, an invisible part of the building's late-night maintenance crew. A single father, widowed 2 years ago, he lived every day just trying to make ends meet for his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Life had been a blur of loss and exhaustion since his wife, Clara, passed away after a long illness. The music that once filled their home had gone silent, replaced by the sounds of a mop bucket rolling across marble floors. But Lily had inherited her mother's love for the piano. Though blind from birth, she could recognize melodies instantly. She often asked her father to describe the way music looked. Ethan didn't have the heart to tell her that music wasn't something seen, but felt. Every night, after finishing his janitorial rounds, he would sneak her into the building's empty executive lounge, where a glossy black piano sat near the panoramic window overlooking the city lights. It was their secret world, where worries faded, and the notes carried their dreams. Lily would sit beside him, her small fingers hovering over the ivory keys. Ethan would place his hands gently on hers, guiding her through each note, whispering, "Feel it, sweetheart. Music isn't about seeing, it's about believing." Together, they played simple tunes, soft lullabies that Clara once hummed. The building's night guard often paused to listen from afar, but tonight, someone else was listening too. Olivia Hartman, the CEO of Hartman Industries, had returned late from a business dinner. Known for her sharp mind and unshakable demeanor, she ruled the corporate world with precision. Yet behind her composed face was a loneliness she never spoke of. Her husband had walked out years ago, leaving her to raise her daughter, Emma, alone. Emma was born blind, and Olivia often felt she was failing her despite all her wealth and power. Tonight, she had come to the office only to retrieve a forgotten folder. But when she stepped onto her floor, she heard something that made her stop. The sound of a piano, delicate, sincere, filled with emotion, drifted through the corridor. Following the sound quietly, she peered into the lounge and froze. There, under the soft glow of the city lights, sat a man in janitor clothes, his sleeves rolled up, his daughter blindfolded, both lost in the music. The melody was heartbreakingly beautiful. The man's face showed exhaustion, but his eyes carried warmth and love. The girl smiled, her little hands moving over the keys with surprising grace as he whispered encouragements. Olivia stood motionless, her breath catching. Something inside her shifted. She had spent years surrounded by success and ambition, but none of it had ever stirred her heart the way this moment did. Ethan finished the tune and chuckled softly, brushing his daughter's hair aside. "You're getting better, Lily," he whispered. "Your mom would have been proud." The little girl smiled. "Do you think she can hear us, Daddy?" Ethan nodded, his throat tight. "She always does." From behind the door, Olivia felt tears stream down her face before she could stop them. She quietly stepped away, not wanting to intrude, but the sound of that piano followed her home like a haunting lullaby. The next morning, Ethan arrived for his shift, unaware of what had happened the night before. But something was different. The building manager called him to the CEO's office. Nervous and confused, he entered, expecting trouble. To his surprise, Olivia Hartman was there, her demeanor calm but curious. She asked him gently about his daughter, about the music, and how long he'd been working there. Ethan, embarrassed, apologized for using the piano, admitting he never meant any harm, he just wanted to teach his blind daughter to feel music. Olivia didn't scold him. Instead, she asked if she could meet Lily. That evening, Olivia waited as Ethan brought Lily into her office. The little girl's innocence melted her heart instantly. She knelt beside her and spoke softly, asking about her favorite songs. Within minutes, Olivia realized something profound. Her own daughter, Emma, had never smiled the way Lily did when talking about music. Moved by this connection, Olivia made an unexpected offer. She told Ethan she wanted to start a music program in her company for children with visual impairments, and she wanted Lily to be part of it. She also offered Ethan a new position as facilities coordinator, with better pay and hours that allowed him to spend evenings with his daughter. Ethan was speechless. For years, life had been a constant struggle, yet here, because of one late-night song, everything was changing. As the weeks passed, the program flourished. Children came from all over the city to learn music, and Ethan helped guide them, using his patient heart and gentle hands. Olivia and Emma attended every session. Slowly, Olivia and Ethan began to talk more, sharing their stories of loss, fear, and hope. Music became the bridge that connected two broken families, mending them one note at a time. One night, months later, a charity event was held at the same hall where it all began. The lights dimmed, and a spotlight illuminated the piano. Lily, now more confident than ever, walked to the stage and played a song she and her father had written together. The melody filled the room, tender and pure, as Ethan watched with tears in his eyes. In the audience, Olivia held Emma's hand tightly, both smiling through tears. When the last note faded, silence filled the room, followed by thunderous applause. Olivia stood and clapped with all her heart, her gaze meeting Ethan's across the crowd. It wasn't just admiration anymore, it was gratitude, understanding, and something deeper. After the performance, Olivia approached Ethan and whispered, "That night, when I saw you playing, I thought I was watching music. But now I realize, I was watching love." Ethan smiled, eyes glistening. Maybe both are the same thing. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Thread. Let's keep spreading kindness, hope, and faith in humanity, one story at a time. Special request, comment below what part of this story moved you the most. Because sometimes, the most beautiful songs come from the hands of those who've known pain, and played through it anyway.